One. So we're going to do some more English language, right? Continuation of part of speech, specifically nouns and pronouns, right? So we're going to start. And remember, we're doing this for the English language, that language. When I become a master in Spanish or French, I'll do it for that language, alright? So we're going to start. So remember, the story that we'll be looking at is The Cat Who Thought She Was a Dog and the Dog Who Thought He Was a Cat by Isaac Bashevis Singer. I think he's Polish. I think. So we're going to start from here. Right. So we're going to read the sentence first, then we're going to dissect it by looking at each noun. So, that day, the woman of the house became so absorbed in the mirror, they didn't cook supper, didn't make up the bed, and neglected all the household tasks. Wow. That's the same thing for me, except with Facebook or YouTube or anything else really. But anyway, so let's see. Let's see. Day. So day is a noun. It's a common noun. It's abstract. I call it up. Remember, an abstract noun is something that you cannot touch. For example, anger, love, Christianity, Marxism, uh, stuff like that. It's. I'm not sure if it's countable, meaning you can put an A before it, and it exists in a plural form. Well, it exists in a plural form because you can have days, and you can say a day. Well, on that premise, I guess a day would be a countable noun. It's singular because it's one day, and it's regular because when you make it plural, is you just get days and there isn't a change in the spelling. And remember, something is irregular when you have the plural form, the spelling changes. For example, when we did tooth and it became teeth because you have to change the O to EE. Right. Um, Supper. I really wish someone could have done this with me when I was in prep school. But anyway, supper. Supper is a noun. It's a common noun. I would say it could be concrete because, for example, say supper was a big chicken. You could touch that chicken. But say supper was rice, chicken, gravy, broccoli, I think asparagus. Yes, you could touch all of those, but then well, yeah, but the reason why I'm not sure I would call it a concrete, could you touch all of those different foods at the same time, or maybe I'm just overthinking it. But I'm not sure about it being concrete. But it's not. It's definitely not abstract. Therefore, the only logical conclusion, it's concrete. So on that premise, it's concrete. Uncountable. Remember, I have uncountable, but I'm not sure about it being uncountable because an uncountable noun, also known as uncount noun, is a noun that cannot usually be preceded by the word a. I haven't seen an instance where you can say a supper, or and you can and also an uncount noun cannot be usually preceded by the word an. It couldn't be preceded by the word an because supper starts with an S and you use an. And precedes words that start with a vowel. And it says abstract nouns tends to be uncountable. But then at the same time, you could count supper. I mean, abstract nouns tend to be uncountable. But then in this case, it's not abstract, you can't touch it. So I'm not sure. It's singular. It's singular on the premise that it's supper for that specific evening. So that's one evening and one dinner. So I would say it's singular. And I'm not sure whether or not the class is as irregular. Right. Bed. Where we sleep and rest our brains. Right. Bed. Right. Bed. Bed is a noun. It's a common noun. It's concrete because you can touch it. It's countable. It's singular and it's regular. Bed, plural, you get beds, so it's regular. You don't change the spelling. You just add an S. Singular because it doesn't have an S, therefore it's not pluralized. It's countable because you can say a bed and it exists in the plural as beds. It's concrete because you can touch it. It's common because it's not unique. You have many of that specific thing. So, right, bed. Tasks. Right, tasks. So tasks is a noun, a common noun. I'm not sure if you should call it abstract. If your task was to, say, blow up a mountain, I don't know how that would be your task, but whatever. You couldn't touch the explosion, you could touch the dynamite. So I'm not sure whether to call task abstract or concrete. It's countable because you can say a task or tasks, that's the plural. It's also plural because you have the S right there, you have the S, and it's regular. Let's see how much time has progressed. 6 minutes. Yes, we can continue. So, Mariana had heard of a dentist in the big city who could replace a missing tooth, but such things were expensive. Ah, yes, they are. So, dentist. Dentist, and interesting, in Spanish, dentist is the same thing. And it's called la dentist. No, I'm sorry. El dentist, and I think for the feminine you say la dentista. The ta is just to differentiate it. Well, yes, whatever. That's another video. So, dentist is a noun. It's a common noun. It's concrete because you can touch a dentist. It's countable because you can say a dentist or dentist, and it's dual gender because you can have a female dentist or a male dentist, and it's singular and it's regular. Now we have city. City is a noun. It's a common noun. It's concrete. I'm not sure. I mean, a city isn't abstract meaning. It isn't abstract meaning you can't touch it, but then at the same time, a city is a constitution or an aggregation or a combination of buildings, roads, and etc. But even though you touch a road, that's just a road. A city is made up of like a building, people, cars, stuff like that. So I still have an asterisk beside concrete. It's countable because you can say a city or cities, and it's neutered because a city doesn't have a gender. It doesn't have male and female reproductive organs. And it's singular. It's regular. We already did tooth in the previous video. Things is a noun. It's a noun. Let me see. I haven't done this previously. Let me see if I can use all my brain power. Alright. Things is a noun. It's a common noun. It's plural. It's plural because it has an S. Right? It has an S. And it's common. It's neutered. And it's regular because things in the plural, the spelling doesn't change, unlike tooth, in where you would have to change it and get EE. So, yeah. Let's see if we can do one more sentence. So, the girls tried to console each other that they were pretty enough and that they could find suitors, but they no longer felt as jolly as before. That's not cool. Anyway, that's not sad. That's sad. But anyway, girls. Girls is a noun. It's a noun. It's a common noun. No, it's a feminine noun because they have female reproductive organs or genitalia, whatever you want to call it. And this goes for English. In languages I think like French and German, they have it where abstract objects, no, inanimate objects can have a gender. So let's see if we can speed this up. Remember, girls is plural, it's countable, and it's concrete and regular. Each other is a special type of setup. Each other is a pronoun, but listen to this. It's a what you'd call a reciprocal pronoun. And basically, what a reciprocal pronoun is. These are pronouns which are used to indicate a two-way relationship or to convey the idea of reciprocity. And how you have each other there, another reciprocal pronoun is one another. So this is a reciprocal pronoun. So this relates to the different girls. Yes, this relates to the different girls. And we have suitors. Suitors, yes, each other relates to it relates to, it's a two-way relationship, and this relationship exists between the girls.